It starts here.
Habari asubuhi. I want to welcome you all to this edition of the Pakasa Forum. Hashtag Pakasa4. We're coming to you live from the Kampala Parents Auditorium here in the capital of Uganda, Kampala.
We also come to you live from Urban TV here in Kampala, in the east, the north, as well as the West Nile regions, and all the radio platforms under the Vision Group. For those on social media, it is hashtag Pakasa4.
And I would also like to let you know that we are airing the show live on Citizen TV in Kenya, K24 TV in Kenya, and Rwanda TV.
Okay. For this time's edition, the theme is Creating Opportunities for the Youth in East Africa. I am Brenda Kembabazi.
And I am Joshua Poro. And I want to start by letting you know the unemployment rates in Kenya, since we are talking about creating opportunities for the youth in East Africa. Kenya has a record high of 40% rates of unemployment of the youth in East Africa. This actually increased to the rate of 40 in 2012 from 12.07 in 2006. This was highly attributed to the 2007 post-election violence.
And for our motherland here in Uganda, the unemployment rate increased to 4.2% in 2010 from 1.9% in 2007. This shows an increase in the unemployment rate resulting from irrelevant education, the high population growth rate, and the fact that universities release over 400,000 students every year only to find 9,000 jobs available.
And well, at this moment, my colleague Brenda is going to take some interviews down. But as she goes to take the interviews, I want to let you know about the unemployment rates in Rwanda. Rwanda stands at a low of 3.40%, and this came about in 2012 from 1.20% in 2006. This was highly attributed to the credit crunch, the world depression that brought many economies to crumble. But as well, I want to bring you back to Uganda and tell you about our economy. There was a report that was released that was showing that 62% of Ugandan youth are jobless. And you know that when our youths are jobless, that is a very big source and a starting point for instability. That is why we have riots on the streets. That's why we have a lot of theft. That's why we have people who are idle and disorderly, and this is simply because they are unemployed and they do not have what to do. Now, the report also shows that 20% of all youth in Uganda between the ages of 12 to 30 are chronically poor, with a high level of poverty rates amongst the 12 to 17 years old as compared to 18 and 30 years old. And also, the government did something to try and make sure that our youth are duly employed. We have the Youth Venture Fund, we have the Graduate Fund, we have the Youth Livelihood Fund. Some of these also are available in Kenya, like the Kazi kwa Vijana. These are jobs for the youth. So we have various measures being put in place by the different East African governments to make sure that our youth find employment, our youth are employed, our youth find something to do. You realize that yearly in a country like Uganda, 400 graduates come out of the university, and all these are competing for 90,000 jobs. That leaves us with a deficit of 310,000 youths unemployed. Can we look at this in a period of 10 years? How many unemployed youth are we having? Unemployment in Uganda is not simply because government does not provide you with the jobs. Our problem is also because, and this I think is around East Africa, our problem is also our attitude towards work and the matter of fact that we are unemployable. What do I mean by we are unemployable? Because we do not like to work. Somebody offers you a job and you do it simply because you want to earn the money. You don't want to do it because you are supposed to do it the right way. There is no way you are going to fail to get a job when you can do something right. We have one of the richest men in East Africa in our midst, Dr. Sudhir Ruparelia. If you asked him how many applications he gets every day, he may not be able to count, but how many of them substantiate work is what he can count. We don't all have jobs at one point because of our attitude towards work. When you change your attitude towards work, you will be in position to derive employment. Stop applying for jobs. Walk to Mr. Sudhir and tell him, sir, you are doing this and that, but you're not doing this, and I can do that for you. I am sure he will create an opportunity for you to be innovative and give him, and he will actually give you a job. I'm proud to say that he is employing me. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, we want to have an interview from outside with my colleague Brenda Kembabazi so that we can have a look into the issues that are affecting the employment sector, into the issues that are affecting the opportunities for youth to get employed. Pakasa Forum this year is operating under the theme, creating opportunities for the youth in East Africa. Over to you, Brenda. Brenda, ladies and gentlemen, with me right now is Isabella Mwebaza, a Ugandan who is unemployed. These are the people who are our focus for today. The Pakasa Forum is aiming at creating opportunities for the youth in East Africa. And I want to ask Isabella. Isabella, you are not employed. What have you done about the fact that you are not employed?
I came up with a business idea. I studied our society, and I found out that there are very many things that are lacking in this society, especially in the food sector. We are feeding on very harmful products. So I came up with a business idea whereby I'm going to open up a restaurant that serves nutritious meals to the society. Yeah, but I'm facing various challenges. Capital, which is the biggest challenge, and then of course the business, management and other things. Yeah, but one of the ways that I want to mitigate that is by getting together with a very good team, and we complete.
So other than looking for a job, why did you decide to open a business and be on your own, be self-employed?
It's difficult to look for a job. It's actually difficult to anticipate the probability of getting a job because very many people in these offices actually don't want to leave. And yeah, like you said, the statistics show that we are very many compared to the jobs available. So you just have to look elsewhere.
This show is airing the whole of East Africa, in Kenya, Rwanda, and Uganda. What advice do you have for the youth out there?
Think outside of the box. Use the facilities that you have around you. Don't look at capital. You don't have the money to start up the business. So just look at what you have already, the resources that you have. Utilize them slowly by slowly. You'll grow bigger. Then also develop a good team. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Isabella. Now, reports do show that Uganda has the youngest population almost in Africa. 83% of our youth, 83% of our population are actually youth. And 62% of this youth are unemployed. Right now, I bring another gentleman, Anthony. Anthony is a student in Kenya. Please come this side. And he's studying an MBA. And he is also unemployed. And we know that Kenya has almost the highest unemployment rate in East Africa, which is at a high of 40%. So Anthony, tell me, are you employed or you are not employed?
I do freelance marketing, but I could do better with my skills. I have an accounting background. I've worked in Uganda. But the challenge, I think the challenge is that the policies that are on paper are not really implemented. For instance, the East African Protocol that allows labor to move freely. Now, what happens in Kenya is that when you apply for a job, you do the interviews and they will tell you, yes, you qualify. The only problem is that you don't have a work permit. Everybody knows that you don't need a work permit to work in East Africa. Those are the challenges. And when it comes to self-employment, I guess the biggest challenge is that the youth are able to work. They're able to invest. They're able to start up. For instance, there are those who park Chipoli here in Uganda. There are those working in manufacturing companies. But the problem is that the competition from imports, for instance, there are toilet paper manufacturing companies that have the capacity of employing over 400 people. But the problem is that these imports from China, I think you've seen the toilet paper on the streets. These imports from China create unemployment because if a company is competing with Chinese commodities that are much cheaper, that means that people are unable to employ more people. So they operate at less than optimum capacity. And the only way this can be changed is having the policies that are on paper implemented and maybe introducing some trade restrictions to empower the youth. For instance, imagine with the American African Leaders Summit, Obama was saying that they're going to start sending their goods to Africa. If you go to Chikubo, people are selling American Garden, mayonnaise. In Uganda, we make a shabwe. Now imagine the youth are empowered to produce a shabwe and sell it by Ugandan products.
Thank you very much, Anthony. And well, we are coming to you live from the Kampala Parent School here in Kampala, and we are airing the show live on Citizen TV, K24, and also the Rwandan TV. And right now, I hand you back to Brenda on the outside.